My name is Andreas Kadani. I'm a representative candidate with the International Party. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I'm studying for a Master's in Political Science here at Stockholm University. I wanted to talk to you briefly about the three things that I've taken in as a representative, the 3 points that are part of the larger TIP platform that are my individual goals as a representative. The three are increased cooperation with Jag vill ha bostad.nu. I'm sure I killed the pronunciation there. The second is increased media coverage of the student housing problem in Stockholm. And the third is increased cooperation or increased lobbying of local and national media. The first point, Jag vill ha bostad.nu. I don't know if any of you have been to that website, but it's a fantastic website. It's made for helping Stockholm students and students in other cities in Sweden find housing. What it does is it helps you coordinate, a good contract, it helps you coordinate with your landlord, it even helps with things like discrimination. That website, Jag vill ha bostad.nu, has the interest of the Stockholm student at heart, it really does. And so does the Stockholm University Student Union, but until now there has been no collaboration between the two. There needs to be, there's no reason for that. So let's increase collaboration with Jag vill ha bostad.nu as the Stockholm Student Union. The second point is increased media coverage of the student housing problem in Stockholm. As many of you know, earlier in last summer, a handful of international students and local students camped out on the Stockholm University campus to protest or to raise awareness about the fact that many international students are arriving in Sweden without housing. This is one of the biggest problems facing the international student here, and therefore it is one of TIP's biggest concern. That campout, as many of you know, gathered a lot of local and national media attention. That was fantastic. That was more than expected, and it really turned heads. It really got people focused on the fact that international students are not finding housing in Stockholm after they arrive in Stockholm. So we need to increase those sort of events. We need to have more of those. We need to really get the media more and more involved, as we have in the past. The third and final point that I've taken in as a representative for TIP, as a part of the broader TIP platform, is the lobbying of local and national government to address the student housing problem in Stockholm. As I mentioned earlier, the media has already taken this issue on in the past, and there's no reason why it won't again. What is arguably, and in my opinion, what is the best way to really put pressure on politicians? The media. So what do we need to do? We need to get the media back on our side, back involved, and we need to use that media exposure to start lobbying local and national government to do something about student housing in Stockholm. Housing congestion is already a problem at the local and national levels in Sweden. Now we need to make student housing specifically a part of that.
In Stockholm have a problem of finding suitable accommodation. The situation on the market affects the student living conditions because of the shortage of accommodation and the high prices. SSB is useful only when you spend only 2 years on their waiting list. Also, you should not forget about the fraud which can happen to everyone. Foreign and newcomer students have problems of finding accommodation because landlords tend to deal with people who are already in Stockholm. To make things worth the information is scattered around several sources. For example, Blocket, Lapis Forum and Studentla, which will allow students to efficiently share information about available and needed accommodation. It is to promote the platform among students to encourage their cooperation, to cooperate with other already working platforms in order to gather all information in one place and give it the access of it to students, to create a blacklist of landlords and renters to prevent fraud, to establish a legal service in order to help students in rental contracts, and the last thing, and one of the most important, to establish help for students in desperate housing situation. We hope that all these measures, if they will be realized, will help everyone, and every student in Stockholm Union will benefit from them.